Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. I'm Justin.
Wyatt.
Today we're coming with you the Man O' War Virtue. Gorgeous looking cigar. It's a very, very light tan Connecticut wrapper. Beautiful. A little lumpy in places, but it's a hand rolled cigar, so I'm not complaining. Minimal veins. Seams are nice and tight. I've got one little stretch mark right here by the foot, but I don't think it'll be an issue. Nice firm pack. Cap's done well. I mean, gorgeous looking cigar. Off the wrapper, I just get a nice light tobacco aroma. Maybe a bit of hay. Off the foot, not the same, except there is a nuttiness I'm actually getting off the foot that's not there with the wrapper. But so far it looks like a beautiful stick. Wyatt?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of the Man O' Wars before, and so far so good. So I've got a lot of hope for this cigar. But yeah, construction-wise, I've got a couple of little areas where the wrapper is cracked, but I don't think that'll be an issue. Definitely not going to take off the band until I have to. But yeah, construction looks great. A couple of seams, a couple of stems, actually a really big stem and a couple of stretch marks, but great presentation on this cigar. Off the aroma though, I get that kind of sweet nut that you were talking about, but I also get sort of a cedar on the foot, and then on the the rest of the cigar, just the general aroma, I get sort of a sweet earth. Just kind of characteristic Connecticut, nothing too heavy.
Let's get her cut up, toast it up, and see how she develops.
Bit of pepper on that first puff. Not overwhelming, but lets you know it's there.
Yeah.
That's really all I'm getting, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this. Very loose draw. Very, very loose.
Yeah, that second puff, I get a lot of that cedar.
Yeah, my draw's very open. It's not, but it's almost too open where you really got a little puff on it to get a lot of smoke something like. Oh yeah. I still get that pepper, but I'm definitely picking up that woodsy cedar.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of an earthy finish. I don't want to say that, you've tasted damp earth in cigars before, and I don't want to say that, but it's sort of similar to that. I mean, just real peppery and surprisingly dark finish.
Yeah, it's very peppery. It's not my characteristic Connecticut.
Yeah.
Very peppery, very earthy. The smoke to me, it's very open draw, so I really got to suck on it to get a lot of smoke, but it is got a creamy texture to the smoke. It's nice. So far, a very nice beginning. Not something I would say that's characteristic to a Connecticut.
No,
it's a
not
little,
at all, yeah.
I don't want to say mild. I would say medium bodied at this point, probably the same strength. But let's get into the first serve, see how she does. Welcome back. We're about 10 minutes into the Man O' War Virtue, and I have to say this is a heck of a cigar. I'm bumping it up to a heavy medium. I stood out in a little bit of lightheadedness, but burn has been great, construction's been great, draw's still a little loose, but I can work through that. It is just a nice pepper on the finish. You definitely get that in the draw as well. I get a bit of nuttiness on that finish, but just a light tobacco. Overall, very nice cigar. Really enjoying it. It's just really nice. What?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of Connecticut's before, but this is the first Connecticut I've had where I can successfully say it's given me that kind of lightheadedness. But yeah, the tastes are fantastic. I mean, pretty nice open draw, and I prefer more of an open draw. But yeah, you get some of that pepper, and to me that pepper hasn't really died down, but it's molded together with the flavors better. It's not quite that really pronounced flavor on the finish. And the finish, I get that little bit of woodsiness, a little bit of that cedar, a little bit of earth, and that all just forms all together with that pepper into kind of this nice nutty finish. So really, really great stick.
Well, let's get into the second, third, and approach the midpoint and see how she develops. Welcome back. We're about halfway of this Man of War Virtue, and I have to say, great Connecticut stick. I'm really pleasantly surprised with it. Construction, I've had no issues. Draw, no issues. Burn is fine. Like I said, it's a little bit of a loose draw, but I've worked through it. It's not a problem. Flavor-wise, that heavy pepper that I was getting in that first third is really died down. It's still there in the finish, but nowhere near playing the role it used to. Right now, I just get a nice earthiness, definitely some woodsiness coming in, and that kind of molds together into that finish and leaves a nice, heavy nut finish on it, and it's just a very pleasant stick. Medium in body and medium in strength. What?
Excellent cigar. I mean, absolutely no qualms with this. Especially for a Connecticut. I've had just about every other Connecticut out there on the the mainstream cigar market, and I've never been as impressed with the Connecticut as I am with this one. That pepper to me is still there, but like I said in the last update, it just molds together on the finish and the smoke with all the other flavors so well, and the finish is fantastic. So we're smoking this at the end of the day, and usually at the end of the day I prefer kind of a heavier stick, but this cigar fits the period. I mean, it fits what we're doing. So it's gotten, or it's lost a little bit more of its power in the second half, which is a good thing. You know, it's kind of mellowed out now, but yeah, excellent stick so far. Definitely one of, if not the best Connecticut I've ever had.
Well, let's get into the final third and see how she develops. Welcome back. We're at the final third of this Man of War Virtue, and I have to agree with Wyatt. This is the best Connecticut wrapper I've ever had. You know, it's still got that creamy texture that you get from the Connecticut, but it's got flavor. And most of the Connecticut's, in my opinion, are just very mild, light tobacco, something that you would want to smoke in the mornings with coffee. And that's great. They have their place. But to me, this thing, you could do morning, mid-afternoon, evening. It's an all-around good stick, and I think it would compete with some of even the Maduros, the Habanos, some of the heavier cigars. To me, it was medium in body, and at times it played with the idea of being medium to full. It was definitely packing a little bit of punch there. About a medium in strength, and flavors just, you know, for me, were exceptional. The pepper came back in this last third, but not overpowering, but I could feel it on my tongue and in times in my throat. Very nice. It was very woodsy in places. It get that cedar taste and aroma, and that nuttiness in the finish just was excellent. I just overall really enjoyed this stick. Like I said, the draw was a little open, but it's not really an issue. It still produced ample amounts of smoke when you took a draw. Just no issues construction-wise or with the burn. I know that Connecticut's are typically very simple to me, and this wasn't heavily complex, but it had quite a few flavors, and I appreciated that. I would give it an 8. I really enjoyed this stick, and I would definitely smoke it again. What?
I totally agree. I mean, as a early on cigar smoker, I stuck with Connecticut's because they were more safe. You know, there's not a lot of flavor profile, or not a lot of dimension, not a lot of changes. But boy, this is easily the best Connecticut I've ever had. Like we've been saying before, there's that little bit of pepper that came back in the second half. Not overpowering, but just nice. I mean, you can feel it in the back of your throat. So it's got a little more of a heft than your typical Connecticut, but nice and sort of earthy in the second half. And even the smoke itself has gotten creamier. I mean, just steadily creamier as you smoke your way down. But I'd go a little higher. I'd give this one a 9. Definitely something I would smoke again. And like Justin said, I could see pairing this with just about anything. In the morning, it's not so heavy that it's going to give you a headache, but you can hear it at the end of our day with a cup of coffee. It tastes great, so absolutely no problems. Man of War is one of those few cigar brands where I haven't had a bad one.
And I know Man of War is blended by AJ Fernandez, so I have to say the only bad AJ Fernandez I ever had was the Nica Libre. and some people really like it. Was not my taste, but other than that cigar, I have not had a bad AJ Fernandez other than the Nica Libre. But anyway, Man of War Virtue, great stick. Pick one up if you get a chance. But in conclusion, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, greatly appreciate it. But until next time, smoke them if you got one.